Welcome to the Ballard Proud podcast. It seems everyone can agree that Ballard is a fantastic school district, and when asked why, the answer always includes some reference to, well, it's people and relationships. So I'm on a mission to get to know the people of Ballard and find out why everyone is so proud to be part of this district. I'm Danny Trimble, Superintendent for the Ballard District, and I'd love for you to come along with me on this journey to uncover what it means to be Ballard Proud. Welcome to this edition of the Ballard Proud podcast. Our guest today is Siera Schwartz, a family and consumer science teacher here with the Ballard District. Siera, thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, so happy to be here.
I'd love for you to just start where we always start and tell us about your path to being an educator at Ballard.
Yeah, so my husband actually grew up in the Gilbert area. And so he went to Iowa State and then I went to Iowa State, and that's where we met. And so he had a job at the Verizon in Ames when I was first getting teaching jobs. He had not graduated college yet. And so having him in college at Iowa State and his job keeping us in the central Iowa area, I just started looking around in this area. And I actually started at North Polk School District at the middle school. And after a couple, that first year, we actually settled into the Huxley area because it was kind of far enough away from Gilbert, and he wanted to start new and make new friends, just get a fresh start with our family and everything, but still in that central Iowa area. So we settled in Huxley, and I taught at North Polk. And then actually after a couple teaching changes, just due to one being part-time and then one being full-time but not close by, it brought me to Ballard because there was an open position in the town that I lived in the school district that my kiddos would eventually be in. So it worked out perfect. And I'm so happy that I was able to get my foot in the door and be here at Ballard.
I love hearing you say it that way. I'm just so happy to be here, and we're happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I do like to know too about people's positive experiences with school or memorable experiences. So you can take us wherever you want with this question, but share a memorable moment for us.
Yeah, so I actually, growing up, absolutely loved homecoming week. As a student, I loved all things that went into homecoming because it wasn't just necessarily about the football game on Friday night. Everybody had their own way to participate in homecoming activities. And if you know me, you know that I absolutely love community, and I'm very social. So I absolutely love that it got to be a whole community event, from high school kids to middle school kids, all the way down to elementary kids. And I think that Ballard does homeschooling or homecoming really well at our school district. And one of my favorite things that I did for homecoming week in my high school was we got to do grade level floats for our parade. And every year had a theme. And so the float had to match the theme. And I just loved doing that, as it was a good bonding moment for all of the grades that got to do their own float.
Yeah, those are fun memories, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Back in the day. No, I'm not that old. But
Yeah, you're not. You can't say back in the day yet.
I'll take my time one day.
Yeah. So I know that being an educator keeps people super busy. You've got a family that keeps you incredibly busy. So if you have spare time, what do you do in your spare time?
Yes, the very little spare time that I have with my kiddos being so young, I absolutely love to garden. And I love to spend time outside in the sunshine, whether it's summer or winter. I do actually enjoy winter still, but one of my favorite things to do is garden. And this year we made salsa and pickles out of our small in-town garden. So that was really fun to do with my kiddos. But then I also just love to sit outside, and I love to read. So you will find me in the summertime, especially when I do have a little bit more free time, reading outside on our back patio. It's one of my favorite pastimes.
Yeah. Do you have
with a coffee, usually with a coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have favorites to read, or just whatever suits your fancy?
I I do have favorites to read. We have a book club on our street. And so shout out to Meadowbrook Place Book Club, but um, we love to read all different types of genres. So I am more of a like romance fan, but they have gotten me out of my shell and we've done a few thrillers and just different things. So it's been really cool to be able to broaden my interests in reading through that. So
Nice.
I guess that is also one of my hobbies is book club.
Nice. And to get to have a little community around that.
Oh, yes. And we're all moms with kiddos around the same ages. So it's really nice to get together and just bond over having young kids.
Yep. Perfect. Sure. I also like to ask people about music. So again, depends on what you have time for in your life, but what's on your playlist right now?
Yeah, so I'm a big country music fan, so I love some Zach Bryan and some Morgan Wallen, but I also am a little obsessed with Forrest Frank right now. My kiddos love him too. But I have found that recently, when I do have a moment to spare for something to listen to, I've been on a big podcast kick. So I'm a big Mel Robbins fan. I think she has a lot to offer women in general, but also all communities. So I just think being able to take an hour to myself with a podcast right now and just kind of do some growth and some deep diving has really been good for my soul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And shout out for Mel Robbins, if anyone is looking for something.
Yeah. Any topic, anywhere. She has such great, not only does she have great people come on her podcast, but she has great resources too. So absolutely.
Yes, agree. Glad you mentioned it.
Sorry.
What do you think would surprise people to learn about you?
Okay, I had a really hard time with this question because I feel like I'm a pretty open book. But one thing that I think would surprise people to learn about me is I actually did not start in college to be an educator. I started in the College of Dietetics and Nutritional Sciences at Iowa State. And I looked around and realized that was not actually my passion. My passion was actually making food. So I went back to my high school math teacher, who was one of my favorite teachers of all times. Shout out Jill Roberts. You're amazing. But she taught math, and I went up to her during homecoming week and we were just talking and she asked me how college was going. And I said, it's not going well. I don't know what I want to do with my life. And she said, well, you really should be a teacher. And I was like, I should? What in the world do you think I'm going to teach? And let me just tell you, she did not recommend math. That was not her first recommendation for me, considering I cried every day my senior year in calculus. So that was not what she recommended for me. But I remember her saying, well, what about what Mrs. Marshall taught, which was family and consumer sciences? And it was one of those things that I love what I teach. I'm very, very passionate about it. I think it combines a lot of useful skills that everybody should have. And so ultimately, I'm so thankful to her for pointing me in the right direction and giving me something to think about, especially because when you become a teacher or you're thinking about becoming a teacher, you really just think about those core content areas that everybody seems to teach. And so it was so nice to have an outside of the box perspective from someone in education who clearly valued what CTE was teaching. So that was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Great story. Yes. So we know you've chosen Huxley as your home. You have already told us that you are pleased to be here. Now I would love to hear you just talk about what you're proud of when you think about this district.
Yeah. So when I was thinking about this, I kind of went down two avenues. So the first avenue that I thought of is I am proud to be part of the Ballard staff. I feel like we have so many great educators and staff members in general who truly, truly, truly strive for what's best for our students. And they have a passion for loving on the kiddos and not just academically. I feel like when I'm talking to other teachers or when I'm talking to other like support staff in the buildings, they truly just want to make well-rounded people. And it's truly a passion of the teachers and the staff here at Ballard. But as much as I love being a teacher in the district, I also am so grateful to be a family in the district, because after I work in the middle school and high school buildings, and even just seeing the passion that middle school teachers and high school teachers have, and working a little bit with a project at West that I do with the kindergartners or the kindergarten teachers, I know they have a passion for loving on their kiddos too. So I am so thankful that I get to send my kiddos to Ballard, just because I know that they are being poured into and loved on a daily basis as well. And that the end goal for all of the teachers here and staff members here at Ballard is to just make well-rounded people who are going to go do great things.
Mm-hmm. I love that you said that and ended with that, Siera, because I get to see that when I go in and work with people in all the different buildings. And yes. I love that our staff can hear you say that because I know it to be true. So thank you for that.
No, and I mean every word. I've been in all buildings, and just interacting with other teachers and other staff is like what also brings me joy outside of just the teaching aspect day in and day out.
Nice. Well, Siera, thank you for taking time out of a busy day to let us get to know you a little bit more, both as a proud Huxley and Ballard School District family and employee.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Ballard Proud. There's more to come as we dive into what it means to be Ballard Proud. Until next time, I'm Superintendent Danny Trimble, and I hope you have a great day.